Hey everyone, it's Eric from Barrel and Hatchet, and today on this episode of Echo Files, we're going to be taking a quick look at the Canine 12.5 from Rosco Manufacturing and also the 13.9 TPC from Ape Defense. Now let's do a quick rundown about what we're going to be really talking about today. Today is not going to be talking about what type of barrel length is better than others or what's the most advantageous in terms of, you know, recce or general purpose or whatever. This is just a general overview about barrels and kind of some expectation management that you should have. Before we jump into that, make sure you go hit that subscribe button, that like button. Go ahead and comment down below. Guys, your comments have been so awesome and the feedback has been great as far as you guys helping each other out and helping answer questions from new shooters and new people in the community. So continue to do that, continue to encourage each other. Remember, iron sharpens iron, and we'll go ahead and get started real quick. Now, understand, disclaimer, we like to get those out right off the bat. Rosco Manufacturing did send us this 12.5 canine barrel to try out, and also Ape Defense did send us the 13.9 TPC. But what I want to do first is I want to run down the specs of the Ape Defense 13.9 to two different links, but I just want to kind of give you guys those specs so that way you have those on hand. Now, as far as overall length, like I said, 13.9, weight is 22.9 ounces, and also that's got a material is 4150 CMV. It is chambered for 5.56 and is a government profile. As far as the twist rate, it's going to be a 1:7, which is pretty standard, and then the thread is 1/2 by 28, so you guys can add all of your typical normal muzzle devices and things of that nature onto the end of that. Gas block size is 0.75, all right, and it has a mid-length gas system. Guys, having a mid-length gas system on these 13.9s and is kind of a nice length to be able to help with some of that recoil, and it's just it really complements that barrel length very well. Based off of what Roy and I have been running, we really have a big sweet spot for mid-length. As far as the crown, it's 11 degree crown and has a black nitride finish, of course, with a nickel boron barrel extension. So as far as that, the barrel is a really tight shooting barrel. As far as when we were running it, obviously you guys know Roy and I run suppressed almost all the time. We did several different types of ammo to run through it. Obviously, some of the ammo, you know, is definitely not match grade. It's all surplus ball, nothing super fancy about that. But as far as the MagTech, we use 55 grain MagTech, and it had a pretty nice group. Even Toll ammo kind of grouped. I mean, obviously it's within about a 1/2 inch, and obviously there's a couple flyers in there as that suppressor starts to heat up and that barrel starts to heat up, but it kept them relatively tight. What really shocked me was the M855 62 grain. So your typical 62 grain round, your green tip, which I think is probably going to be your most common, is your 55 and your 62 grain ammo. And man, it really clustered them in there. It was super, super tight. You can even see how one just north of the actual sticker, there is a 3-shot group that is all almost in the same hole. And then we got M855A1 62 grain. Obviously it's the new round. It's got that exposed penetrator, and of course, kind of expected, with M855A1, it is a really hot round and really hard to tighten that thing up. So the fact that it was able to do that, I've even seen, I mean, you know, I've seen that type of accuracy come out of an SPR barrel when it comes to M855A1. It's just such a hot round and pretty inconsistent. So the fact that it's able to put that in there with almost an inch and a half group is pretty decent. Obviously, we're doing this at 55 or 50 yards, but we also stretched this barrel out all the way to 500 yards and even did shots out to 700 yards, and it was able to hit targets out at that distance. So understand, the biggest thing about these types of barrels is, one, you got to look at, hey, is it a good quality barrel? How long is it going to last me? And these will last you a pretty long time, especially for, if you look at the price on Ape Defense, it actually says that this barrel is $159.99. You can obviously add the gas tube and the gas block. It's not a non-adjustable gas block, but for $189.88, you could walk away with a barrel, gas block, and gas tube to put in your system. The reason why I really like 13.9 is it's a good length kind of that good length, almost a general purpose type length. And especially you start running a can, it just a little bit shorter helps out with that can being added on there for a little bit more maneuverability and weight saving. So guys, really impressed with how well this was able to run all different types of ammo and really just put them in that nice tight group. And of course, it handled very well with the suppression. Now, let's talk about the Canine 12.5 from Sage Dynamics. What's really interesting about this barrel is that it was a patrol length gas system. So a lot of systems for a long time are running carbine length, and it has a little bit more more punch. So you got that shorter gas system, a little more punch. The patrol length is in between that mid-length gas system and that carbine length. And what's really nice about that is it does help out with that reliability. You get the reliability aspect, but you're also getting that shorter felt recoil. And it's obviously, you know, ported correctly to be run reliably suppressed, and that's the key: reliably suppressed and unsuppressed. Obviously, there's things that you could do to make it run a lot smoother, but you have a lot of give and take, everybody. You've got to either one, hey, I'm gonna run any type of ammo and it's gonna run no matter what, whether it's suppressed or unsuppressed, or if you have it more fine-tuned, it might only run like, hey, I can only run this type of ammo, this type of grain weight, and it has to be suppressed, you know. So if you can't have everything, so having that patrol length kind of gives you that more general purpose length that allows you to get good advantages all around. You got softer felt recoil, like I said, and also reliability. So obviously the barrel length for this is 12.5. The weight overall is 27.05. The Canine barrel does have a thicker profile. And the reason why you want that thicker profile is because it will spread that heat out a lot more. It'll absorb that heat. The more that I can keep that barrel not super hot, the more I will have that ability to make accurate shots, have those tight groups for a longer period of time as my string of fire increases. So the more you shoot, you know, it's not going to heat up as fast, and it's going to give you a lot more consistency. So you got a little bit of a thicker profile, which I really like, and it's not that much weight as far as the comparison between weight and having that heat dissipated pretty well. As far as the material, it's 416R. Calibers obviously are 5.56 with a barrel profile that's continuous. Has a 1 in 7 twist rate. Of course, obviously the standard barrel thread at the end for your muzzle devices is a 1/2x28 with a .750 barrel gas block size, and obviously the gas system is a patrol length. I think that the patrol length gas system is going to stick around for a lot longer just because of that reliability and softer felt recoil. Obviously our barrel crown is 11 degree with a nitride finish and a barrel extension finish of nitride. So obviously I think the Canine system was helped develop by Sage Dynamics, Aaron Cowan with Rosco Manufacturing, but this thing is coming in at $170. So you can literally get this thing for $170 and have that system available in your inventory. Guys, it doesn't help with these types of things. You know, Roy and I always talk about spare parts and having extra things lying around to either repair guns or things of that nature. But, you know, things are getting tight, and obviously, you know, inventory will not be there forever. So make sure that you have ample amount of extra parts laying around. I know it's good to have that training rifle, but being able to swap that training rifle barrel out and put in your actual barrel that you want to utilize, obviously it's not a necessity, but it is something to keep in mind, right? So right now we're living in tough times, and making those smart buying decisions is extremely important. So make sure you go out, do your research. We want to kind of give you guys a general overview and our experiences with these barrels. But go out, do your research. Don't take my word for it. Make sure you go out and try out these things. Obviously, we've had an extremely awesome experience with both of these barrels and would highly recommend them. But make sure you also go out and test out those barrels for yourself, and, you know, make sure you're making a smart buying decision, which I think if you get these barrels, you are making one. So definitely recommend checking them out. And also make sure that you go and invest in training. You can't buy capability. We obviously say this every single episode, but you cannot buy capability. You need to invest in yourself. You are the best investment. You are the asset. So make sure that you are an asset and not a liability by investing in your training, going out. There's tons of resources out there. Obviously, YouTube is a resource online. And also, if you want, you can come train with Roy and myself. Go check out our website. We do have training curriculum up. Scoped carbine, we just had a baseline red dot, and our Ghost Fighter night vision alpha course. We do have a couple more alpha courses coming up for the rest of this year, and we'll have Bravo courses being scheduled for next year. So come check us out. We do also have a medical course in the work. If you have any nylon needs or anything like that, go check out Wiseman Company. They carry Lunar Concepts products and all types of gear needs that you may have. Also, if you get a chance and you need plates, go check out AT Armor and go get a good solid set of plates. We'll be doing a video on that here in a bit. But as usual, make sure you invest in yourself, go out and train, continue to research, and also don't forget to always be prepared. We'll see you on the next one.
Gas mask on a low